social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. You are or have returned back to Katinaskorner. Boom, you made it. Thank you so much for coming out. And yeah, guys, this is my third podcast. Oh my God. Yes, number 3. Yes, I'm reminding y'all because I'm reminding myself. Because why? It is my dream. God is so good. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. I would have never thought that I would have that I would have been able to have or be on number 3. So thank you guys for coming out. I will say, I so appreciate all the texts, the messages. Just you guys have been so, I'm thankful. I am so humbled. I've had people reach out to me saying how they've wanted to leave their job, how far as things that I've said that have inspired them. I'm just so thankful that you guys took the time to even sit and watch my podcast. So I hope that you continue to take this journey with me, and I think it will benefit both of us because I learn from you guys learn from me. We just keep it moving. Okay. So in some of my messages, majority of the messages that I received talked about starting your own business. Now, I will say this. Starting your own business is not for the faint of heart. You cannot be weak when you're starting a business because it is truly a lot. You have to show up and show out for your business. One day, somebody said to me, Tina, don't go out there and embarrass yourself. I'm an entrepreneur, I told her. I embarrass myself every day. These are things that you have to be willing and able to do to put yourself, your product, and your service out there. Excuse me, there's a lot of things that you're not gonna wanna do, but you have to do it because it's like your baby. You're nurturing your baby to grow up, to possibly be profitable, and be able to make it out here in this tough, cold world. So with that, I decided to bring some value today. So bringing value, basically what I'll be talking about is starting a business. So with starting a business, we've got to pick a business. And the business that I chose is one of the businesses right now that is flourishing so much so that if I said what's one of the number 1 businesses right now that are taking brick and mortar businesses out, basically taking them out, Amazon. Amazon is an e-commerce store that is knocking out these brick and mortar, like knock them out the box. Seriously. Macy's, Sears. You've seen so many stores that have been closing because people are now shopping online. So my thought is, have you ever thought about having an online store? And you don't actually necessarily have to have an online store. You can have a store where maybe it's on eBay or something. So what I'm going to do is go over a few things. Now, my show is only 30 minutes. I'm not saying that I can help you put the whole kit and caboodle together within 30 minutes. However, I'm going to do my best to tell you what I know because I've actually been in that space. So, and let me back up for a moment. And many of my patrons out there, thank you guys over the years for purchasing from me. It's been so appreciated. And but I want to get started and kind of give you guys an idea or a little platform. So if you guys get your pen and paper, let's get started. So I wrote myself a few notes because it is a lot of information, even though I remember a lot of the stuff off the top of my head, because I loved having my store. It's just that once I started doing other things, it's a little bit harder sometimes to do everything. And sometimes you just want to focus. So with that, let me just talk to you a little bit about that first, the store. So when you're starting your store, you first need to figure out what it is that you want to sell. Okay. What do you have a passion for? You know, what's out here? What's trending? What's hot? You know, what's popping? Or is there a niche that you're looking to sell for? Now, niches, a lot of times riches are in the niches. That has been the old saying. So think about that. Between that and, like I said, what's kind of hot out here. I really want you guys to sit down and research, what do you want to sell? Do you want to sell clothes? Do you want to sell jewelry? Do you want to sell any type of accessories, handbags? Maybe you want to sell art. You know, maybe you want to sell, maybe you bake goods. I knew one person who sold popcorn, and I was at a vendor event, and his phone was, when I say popping for popcorn, like every time I turned around, I had to actually go over to his vendor booth like, what you have a Shopify store, don't you? I need to hold a couple of dollars because you are over here killing them. Like, we laughed it off, but he was really doing the dang thing, like seriously. So before I get started with the research and all that, let me come back for a moment. How to start a business? First, okay, I'm in Michigan. So you need to first go to your, there's a state capitol where you are going to exchange and do all the paperwork. I did all mine pretty much online. You're going to go to the internet, to Google, and you're going to look up LARA, L-A-R-A, do LARA Corp, okay? LARA is a business in the state, well, not a business, but they are there to help with all the things state related. But when you go there, you're going to go to their corporations page. And when you go to the corporations page, you're going to see forms, and you're going to see like what type of forms for like LLCs, corporations. You may want to get with like an accountant of some sort and find out, what is probably the best for you to open. Because again, I'm not giving that type of information out because I'm not a specialist in that area. But they're going to want to know if you're going to be a sole proprietor. Do you need a tax ID number? All that stuff. But when you go online and you print out the form, there's literally like 4 spots for you to fill information in. Some people are paying $200 to get this information or have somebody do it for them. Guys, I swear it's not hard. It's so easy. Go online, pull this up. The form, I believe, is $700. Okay. Now, if you find that you need help, contact Lansing. When I say that they will overextend, I'm talking about backflips to help you. So the resources are out there and people are out there to help you. So call the Lansing department and they'll transfer you around to the business division and they will help you. So with that said, you're going to print out, from what I have done, form 700. You're going to put the 4 things in there if you feel like, because there's like 4 different field lines. You're going to put that information in there. And if you are not sure what to put in there, again, call Lansing. They will tell you, and they'll tell you how to get it in. It costs $50 for you to send that in. And they send it back to you in like 2 or 3 weeks. And then right at that point, you have your business. But once they tell you that your business name is even available, so that's another thing about business name. You need to do a business entity search. So you do that, that'll tell you if your business name is available. And sometimes you probably should still call because they'll say that the name may not have showed up, but if you call, just to make sure that it's not available. So, or that it is available for you. So keep that in mind. With that, once you're done, you are going to go file your EIN. You need a tax ID number, okay? People have been using tax ID numbers for years. And they write off everything. So here's a way for you to be able to take the things, your dining. Well, first of all, with your dining and some things, there's some sort of regulations and things. However, you can talk to your tax person about that. I've written off trips. There's a lot of things that I've written off as a result of it was a business expense. Okay, so keep that in mind. Really think. I need you guys to think as business owners at this point. Take that information, write these things off. Because a lot of it does become a business expense. Okay. So with that, we're talking about Laura, your form, okay, tax ID. When you go into the tax ID, they're going to ask you a few things. They're going to want to know what type of company you're trying to form. They're going to want to know what your product or service may be. They're going to want to know what your social security number is. And then they're going to shoot you out. It takes not even 2 minutes. They're going to shoot you out a tax ID number. Now you are a certified business owner. Now again, I'm saying don't quote me because these are things that I've done. There could have been some things that's changed, but when I opened up my online business, these are the things that I did. So you can do these things as well. I know I get calls and emails from people who say, well, how can I do this? When I tell you guys, you look up and you're like, oh, that's all I have to do. Like seriously, that's it. Okay. And so with that, don't get me wrong, there are some businesses that might need licensing, but you contact Lansing and ask them about that. You have the resource there. Please just take advantage of it. Okay. So my next note is when you do all of that and Lansing sends you your certificate saying that you are an established business, take that to the bank. Now you can take that to a bank that has a business section and open up an account. Yeah, you can open up an account. Get that account. That is now your business account. You're going to get a debit card to your business account. And it's going to feel good because you have really established, wait, I'm a business and I did this all within a month. It's 2019 and it's February. You still have so many more months, but you should be making your way to handle these things during the first quarter of the year, or if not, by the second quarter of this year. And then by next year, these are things that will help you with your taxes. I know some of you guys, if you're like me, I was in a higher income bracket when it came to my job. And then I had my business. So I've always had a business on the side. And then my husband and I also own a commercial cleaning company. So yeah, we've always been trying to get it out here. Like you gotta be a hustler, grinder. I don't know about y'all. Trump won't have my destiny in his hand. I'm sorry. No presidents, no government, Congress, all that stuff that goes on. I'm praying that I won't be a person who's affected or let them affect me when I've been blessed to be able to have hands and feet to be out here working and grinding every day. Okay, so get it while you can. Okay, so with that said, go to that bank, set up your account, get your debit card. It's gonna feel good. So then you're like, okay, what do I do? Okay, so let's talk about that. Next step that we're gonna talk about is researching. So now let's go back to what are you gonna do? So now you gotta figure out, what product am I gonna sell and where am I gonna get the product from? Okay, so what you might not realize is you walk into Macy's and all these other places, and as you're looking at clothes, shoes, you notice a lot of it says made in China. Yeah, you could be doing that too. Made in China. You would, oh my God, if you could see what the margins are from what they pay to what you pay. Okay, let's back up. So let's say you go to Macy's and you see a shirt. I don't know, it's $60. They might have paid $1.59 for it because they bought it in bulk. But we're paying over and above because that's the ticket for their store. That same shirt could be at Burlington for $30. No matter what, everybody making a profit off of it. Why not you? Now, I've sourced from China, okay? I will say when you're sourcing, you must be careful. Whenever you're thinking about ordering something, first of all, you want to look at the product. You want to look at the reviews. Okay, what type of reviews have they gotten? Good, bad? You know, what are people saying about the company? How much is actually the product? So let's say jewelry. So let's say you decide to buy a piece of jewelry. You can buy a piece of jewelry for 70 cents, $1. Some of you guys are out there doing multi-level marketing. I've got nothing against that because it's a living and people are killing it with that. But some of you are doing the multi-level marketing where you have jewelry. And some of you, from those that I've spoken to over the years, sometimes can't afford to keep the amount of jewelry based on the cost because you're buying it from the distributor. Well, I'm not saying leave your company. I'm saying, why not buy other jewelry to accompany the jewelry that you have, and then you got a whole table of jewelry. Not to mention, some of it you're going to have only so much profit because you bought from the distributor. On the other end, you bought from China, and now you're getting that much more. So you pay maybe $1 for something, and you turn around and sell it for 10 or 15 bucks. In some cases, some people turn around and sell it for $30 or $40. You know, you never know. It's all in, first of all, what you decide to source. And then you bring that to, like I said, to where you are with your current products. Or maybe you're not with multi-level marketing, selling jewelry or anything like that. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to source all my stuff from China. So again, I go back to say, look at the actual, the company that you're looking to work with, research them, look at their reviews, and then order samples. They will give you a sample because you're going to let them know that you're looking at possibly selling this in bulk. They may even charge you cheaper, but then again, let's be honest. If it's 70 cents or $1, go ahead and just spend it because one, you need to know what the product is like. You know, does it look fake? Does it break easily? What was the package like? And then two, you need to know. The second thing is that you need to know, which was very important, and Give me a minute. Let's see. You need to know about the packaging, but you also need to know how long it took for it to be delivered to you. Because there are times when, I'm telling you, it could take 30 days for you to receive something. And there's nothing worse than not having the inventory that you need when people are looking for it, or you've got a show to do, or you've got things on your website and you're thinking that it was going to be to you by a certain point and people are buying it. So keep that in mind, okay? So you need all those things factored in. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, if you do decide to go into business with this particular supplier because you do like the relationship, maybe you're looking at possibly building with them, the reviews have been good, as far as the shipping. Again, shipping can take long. However, they do have DHL and different expedited type of services. But what you need to do is reach out to them. There has been many times that I've negotiated price and I've negotiated timing as far as my shipping. And then pricing on the shipping can be expensive. So you go back to them and say, hey, I'm really interested. What's the best price that you can give me? Which is saying to them, hey, I'm not taking that price and you need to work with me or I'll move on. And they'll be open to that. Now, don't get me wrong. It is almost like a 10 to 12 hour difference. So, they are working when we're sleeping, but it's a small sacrifice. So keep that in mind. And I believe, I'm not sure if I spoke about, but the name of the companies that I'm speaking about is AliExpress, Alibaba. Okay, yes, there's a store called Alibaba. I know it sounds so funny, but it's the truth. AliExpress you can also do in bulk, but you can do single, multiples. But Alibaba is truly bulk. Okay, now on Alibaba, there's not a lot of reviews and things like that. So you're kind of throwing your hat in and seeing, but what you should do is always, now they will send you a sample. So I would suggest always get a sample. I mean, when I ran my business, I had jewelry coming from AliExpress. I had tagged all my jewelry because I believe in branding. So that's another thing you need to think about. Well, you need a logo, and where are you getting those logos from? Logos? Write this down. Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Yes, you can get a logo for $5. $5. You go there, type in logo. You're going to see so many different freelancers that do logos, and you can decide who you want to work with. They'll send you 3 variations of 3 different logos, and then you decide which one that you want for $5. So keep that in mind. I mean, seriously. Or you can do your own on canvas.com. So yes, canvas.com, you can do your own. Go there, pick it up, see what you can do. It's free. Okay, so keep that in mind. These are just things, and I mean, these are nuggets. These are things that I didn't know about, and I wish I'd known. So hopefully this is something that, can help you throughout your journey. Because I get a lot of people who say, well, Tina, how did you know to do all of this? Did you have a mentor? No, I didn't. I did a lot of YouTube. I read a lot. I read a lot of articles. I researched a lot. So I'm coming to you guys telling you what I've learned. Okay. So next thing that I thought about that you need to do is, now let me back up. You don't necessarily have to import your things from overseas. You can get them here. Now they will be slightly higher, but you need to figure out where. Like I hear a lot about people bringing clothing in from California, maybe even from the East Coast. So there's a lot of different suppliers that you can use. Even these big expos that they have. So like they got these big expos in Vegas every year of all these different companies that come out and expose their clothing and all these, jewelry, all this stuff. And so those are even things that you can look at as well. So I'm just telling you what route I've done, Alibaba, AliExpress. Some people are even doing Wish. Now, I've never ordered from Wish before. I've heard people order from them, some good, some bad, but that's with any supplier. Retail is retail. You never know sometimes what you're going to get. And you know what? I almost forgot one last thing about this before we move on. You can choose to have inventory or you can choose to drop ship. Now, some of you guys might not be familiar with drop ship. For those that are familiar, actually, this podcast is not for you. Okay, this is for those that are beginners and really are not sure and looking to be informed. Drop shipping, it can be really great. So let me enlighten you what drop shipping is. It's pretty much where the person orders off of your site. You don't physically have that item, but you have it featured on your site as if you do. When the person buys the actual product, You receive the money, and now you can order the product and profit the money or pocket the money in away. And now that supplier is going to send the actual merchandise directly to the customer, because you're entering all of their information into the system so they know where to send the product to. So that's huge out here. People are making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing drop shipping. It is truly a very, very lucrative business. You just got to be careful, because sometimes you don't know if how long it may take to get there, or what what state was the product in by the time it got there, or if it was broken and all that. And so at that point, they're contacting you, and so anyway, there's ups and downs with everything, but I just want to put that out there because a lot of people are not familiar with that. Okay, so I move on. All right, so the next thing is, how are you going to sell this? Okay, are you going to sell this by eBay, Amazon, Etsy? There's a lot of different platforms out there for you to put your products on. So you can even do Shopify. I know I had a Shopify store and I loved it. But with any store that you create that doesn't have traffic coming to it already, you must have a strategy with marketing it. Okay, you've got to figure out, how do you bring these people to your store? Because now your store's open like a brick and mortar, but nobody knows it exists. So how do they find you? So you've got to figure out, okay, if I decide to do a Shopify store, which it is easy to put together, they're like $29 a month. They have all these different apps, which is great, that help you be able to market your store. I will say it's an awesome platform. So where do you go from there? You sit down, you build your Shopify store up, and then of course, you got to do your Facebook page, you got to do your Instagram page, but that's with anything. You need to have those things done when you are promoting, because again, everything is exposure. So in your mind, you need to be thinking, how can I bring traffic? What sort of things are going to work for my business? Yeah, think about that as I sip on some wine. Okay, guys, today I'm drinking Bay Bridge. Yes, Pinot Grigio. I love Pinot Grigio. It's great. I digress, though. Okay. So next thing that we're going to talk about is, let me back up. So we talked about Shopify, eBay, Amazon. You can put your things on Amazon, eBay, and all that. But just remember, the only thing is, the best thing about it is they're driving traffic already. The only other thing is you have people who are competing with you. So your stuff could be $20 and the next person could be $5 or something like that. So it's, how can you stand out from the competition? Now, don't get me wrong, people are killing it on Amazon. And on eBay and on Etsy. So you need, whatever product you decide to sell, go on those platforms and see what other people are selling it for, because you definitely need to research your competitors. Always, always, always research your competitors. Because once you get an idea of what they're offering, you can figure out how you can be different and stand out. Yeah, so keep that in mind, okay? Now, with all of this, you also need to wonder, when you do decide on what product that you're going to be bringing on, you need to figure out how much money will you make off of each product. What will be your profit margin? So if you're thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to charge, $15 and I paid, $1. I mean, when I say that's a great margin and it's going to feel good in the event that you do that, go for it all day long. Just make sure that as you're checking those things out, that it's truly worth the price, and that you feel that people will come and want more. One other thing that I want to mention is, not only are you going online to sell, but you need to open yourself up to different vendor shows. So that's another thing. I get a lot of questions about vendor shows. How do I find vendor shows? What do I do? Do I have to be licensed? No, you do not have to be licensed. A lot of times they're looking for vendors. They want you to come and be a part of their vending shows. Just be careful with who you're vendoring for. When you go to vendor, ask questions. I need you to ask questions such as, how many people attend your vending shows? How many times have you done these vending shows? You know, how is she driving traffic? Because I will tell you, I have been to some vending shows and I didn't make a dime. And if I would have knew what I know now, I mean, seriously, but you start to find the ones that do, that are really good at marketing. And then you find the ones that are just pretty much trying to get money from vendors, and then they don't really care. You come, you vendor, and then, basically they didn't have anybody who even came through the door. So with that said, be very careful about your vendor shows, but you have to get out there. I know we have vending shows downtown. We have vending shows at big halls and things like that, like our Cobo Hall. It's huge. So think about those sort of things of where I can vendor at, where I'll get great exposure. Now, don't get me wrong. Vendoring shows can start anywhere as low as $15 and can go up to like $1,500. I mean, like something like if you're talking about doing an event downtown, I think the cost can run anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 just for the weekend. And then you're thinking, okay, can I make that money back? And it can be made back because they have so many people that come through. However, if it rains, that's really not. I can say if it rains on a hot day, that might not be such a good day. However, you never know. Every day is different. Okay, so keep that in mind. Prior to you actually doing all these things, you need to put a business plan together. I know a lot of us want to sit down and put business plans together, but it does help you along your journey. And actually, you don't even have to do it by yourself. If you've ever visited Small Business Administration, when I say they will help you from the beginning to the end, and they don't ask for a dime because they're looking for business owners to be successful. I've actually partnered up with one in the past. You sit down with them, they have different funding, grants, all kind of stuff that they can have going on. But it'd be great for you to sit down with someone, and then that way, you're not going in blind. Because they always say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Okay, so keep that in mind. They'll sit down and do your business plan with you, your marketing plan, your SWOT analysis. SWOT is basically your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So those are all the things that you need to know about. So okay, how can I use this? Because you're starting off this way. And you got to keep trotting along because it's not going to be easy. And sometimes you'll have to revert back to that business plan and say, okay, what has changed? These were my goals. And that's another thing. You have to, gotta have goals. Okay. So the business plan helps you get to those goals. Okay. So with that, what are the goals for your store? Like you really got to think about and figure out like, okay, my goals for my store. I plan to go online, and then maybe I'm looking to have a brick and mortar later on. Just different things that you have to think of long term because this is your dream. You can't live in the moment. Okay. All right. And so basically, how do you get there? What do you need to get there? And then another thing that I like to talk about is, your actual networking, because you have to network. Okay. Your network determines your net worth. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that. It is the truth. The people that you network with, look, I love my friends, and you have different circles. But sometimes you need other circles too of people who are doing some other things that, maybe you're not doing, and that helps you to kind of catapult to the next level. So, like I said, I love my friends, my family. I love, those are my people, and they're going to help me and have always supported me. But then in another sense, I have, started to be in different networking groups where I can figure out some of the things that they've done that will help me, because at this point, you can only learn from those that have been down that road. Okay. So keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. I think that's majority of the things that I wanted to go over with you. So I thank you guys so much for coming and tuning in. I really hope that this information has been helpful to you, because right now e-commerce stores are booming. And just think about this. If you can get in on something like this, and by the time Christmas comes and you have your store up and you've got products that you're looking to sell and you're putting it out in front of people, a lot of people are shopping online now. They're not even going into the stores. So I just kind of gave you some value, or dropped a little gold nugget that you are like going to be thinking about, like, wait a minute, It's so easy. You can do it. You truly, truly can go into business for yourself. You can do this while you're still working. And again, y'all know how I talk about, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Pull some of them eggs out and start putting them in another basket and grow this basket, because in the event that job goes away, what do we talk about? You look up and now you're dependent upon you and your family from that one income. No, take some of that money while you're getting it and grow this other business. It's like your baby. And like I said before, you're nurturing it, grow it. You're going to be so, so excited about it because guess what? It's yours. It ain't nobody else's and nobody can take it from you. It's yours. Okay, so I'm going to leave y'all with that. All right, so again, I thank you guys for tuning in. I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys next week. Again, I'm so thankful. I ask that you, subscribe to this channel, like this page, like this podcast, and I'll be back next week. And again, as I always say, add value to others because you don't realize how much of a blessing it is to you. All right, till next time, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.